Hey everybody, welcome to episode 143 of Build That House with me, Jim. I'm Jim, and I don't know, it could be a little dark in here, but let me show you what I'm working on this episode. I'm going to attempt to pull this manifold assembly off the wall and install some foam. It's kind of hard to see here in the dark. It's 2.5 inch high density insulation foam. We're going to put it on the concrete, adhere it, tape it, and then build some type of a big panel here so that we can attach things like the PRV valve and more infrastructure that we will require to run the house. All right, I got the wood mount for the manifold off the concrete wall there. Now I'm going to fit in some 24-inch pieces of foam and adhere them, and that will insulate the basement. 2.5 inches thick. All right, it got a little dark in here, but you can see I got 4 pieces of 2.5 inch insulation on there. I'm gonna put one more piece in, and take a piece of 3/4 inch plywood, drill some holes into the concrete, and fasten the plywood to the insulation. Okay, sorry about how dark it is in here, but as you can see, that sheet of birch veneered 3/4 inch plywood is in position. I've shimmed it up a little bit off the floor just in case, you know, the hot water tank goes to something like that. Chances are it'll wash down that little drain over there before it gets too much water here, and it won't damage the bottom of the sheet of the plywood since it's so beautiful. But I'm doing my little trick with the 1/8 inch Hilti bit. I'm drilling through that, through the 2.5 inches of insulation, and then my old little trick with the weed whacker line, putting the weed whacker line in the hole, and then using 5-inch screws. It should suck this plywood to the concrete wall, lickety split, and it won't be going anywhere. All right, just doing a walkthrough. After 2.5 weeks it's been drying. You could see that, I don't know how you would describe that, marbling. So I expect it to change a bit more.
I happen to be on the set of Build That House with Jim, and I'm here with Jim. I'm here with the star of Build That House with Jim. And what's exciting for me is that when I'm over in TV land and I'm watching the show, I never thought, oh my God, I could be on the show. I mean, not on the show, but on the set of the show with the star of the show, who also happens to be my brother. So it's pretty awesome.
Fabulous.
I have an in. I can just come over to the set anytime and I can meet the star and have lunch with the star or dinner. We're going to have dinner. So it's pretty awesome. So we're going to get a tour, all right, of Build That House with Jim. And that's you, Jim. It's pretty cool. All right, here we go.
All right, folks, there it is. That is a lot of fun doing that mounting with the ready rod and the plates and the ceramic coated. These are ceramic coated because if they weren't, you'd get what they call electrolysis, and you can get corrosion in here. So these are actually good to work with copper, but I also use tape because it was recommended to me that even after 25 years you can get corrosion with the ceramic. So there it is, mounted up quite nicely. All right, so I'm basically just going along the line here. I'm going to continue to insulate this wall, but I've bumped into this thing which will eventually be a hookup for a sink in this little bathroom here. So I'm going to extend it a little bit, and then I'm going to do a 90, and I'm going to stub it off and continue with the installation, and that'll just be sticking out ready for that day that comes when I can hook up a little bathroom down here. But until then, we'll just get it all ready. All right, just like that. put some insulation on now. So this stuff is called LePage's PL300 foam board panel adhesive. So LePage's makes a whole line of different types of glues for different applications. And this one happens to be to adhere high density foam insulation to concrete walls. All right, just like that. Just like magic. I think that's it for tonight, but I'll just carry along down the line with more installation. All right, everybody. Working on the mechanical room here, and I'm inching closer to when the electrician can come and hook up the electrical panel there. And even with just the electrical panel, he can set me up with a few outlets so that I won't have to run power from the other building. Believe it or not, everything I've done out here has been on an extension cord. It's time to upgrade and get this tech cable functioning with a real panel in here. So what I did was talked about the insulation, taped and bonded to the concrete, and now I've built out this additional 2x4 wall. Now, interestingly enough, in order for me to kind of get that tight up against the wall, I needed to shim it out 5/8 of an inch, so that eventually I'm hoping to put another piece of this birch veneered wood in the utility room. So that's kind of the deal. But because I had to, you can see the shim, the shim, I don't know. It's kind of difficult to see there, but you can see there's one right there. So what I'm gonna have to do is cut some 5/8 strips and bump all these out 5/8 of an inch, and then build yet another wall. So, I mean, it's gonna be thick, but there's just no way around it. Unless you wanted to do one of those things you see in everybody's basement, where you got this little ledge, which it's so stereotypical of a basement. I'm kind of shooting for like regular flat walls, you know, without that kind of ledge that people decoratively kind of disguise, but I mean, it's obvious what's going on there. So I just want flat walls. So in order to do that, got to build it out. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going to cut a bunch of 5/8 strips, and then, like again, build all that out with 5/8 strips, and then yet another 2x4 wall. And then possibly we might be able to get the electrician here, get him to pop that in there. Pretty cool. All right, so I'm installing this kind of contemporary door handle on the door, and it has to be exactly perfect. Centered, square, and not drifting either way, because the through bolts have to line up. So as you can see, it's gonna look pretty awesome, but really highly sensitive stuff here. Plus, I don't want to mess up the doors, so just taking my time. I've been on this for at least an hour and a half already, but just being super careful. Alrighty, I'm back from the next town down, and I got these new bolts from a specialty fasteners place. So I think this is going to rectify the problem. Gives me an extra 1/4 inch depth, and the tip is kind of flanged like the original bolt. So let's see if this works. I think it will. I finally got it. Had to keep tweaking it to the bitter end, but it's all good now. Something you'd see in an Italian restaurant. And I'm gonna do one of those, I think I'm gonna do one of those electronic keypad deadbolts. And so when you close the door, you're gonna have to close it and latch it. This piece of wood should have been a lot bigger to accommodate a deadbolt and a normal door handle. But it's interesting, when you start using a door handle like this, you don't need a doorknob, because you want to use this to open and close the door. But then if you don't have a doorknob, it doesn't auto close when you close it, if you catch my drift. So I don't know. I kind of went into this thing without thinking about it too much as far as logistical stuff like that. But anyway, there you have it. I think it looks pretty cool. That was not easy to do, believe it or not. As far as this goes, called the electrician. I'm on the list for the next 2-week rotation. So he'll be coming and putting that panel in. Whether he wants it here or here, it's up to him. But I'm gonna continue these verticals and get this kind of happening. And then I guess I'm gonna frame a little bit in here, and then I'm gonna attempt to build this wall here, which will connect to here and close the mechanical room in. So just gonna carry on with that. We'll see how it comes along. All right, I got that wall built out. Another sheet of LaBirch veneer plywood on there. Pretty luxurious for a mechanical room, but you need something substantial, like I said, to screw all the stuff to. So a wall will be going in here. That's the next stop. And yeah, pretty good. All right, I finally got the utility room kind of worked out a little bit. And that's where the wall is gonna be. So that's it for this episode, folks. Thanks for checking that out again. I'll see you in the next episode of Build That House with me, Jim. I'm Jim. We'll see you soon.